Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate why and how to use multiple catch blocks in Java. So let's get started. First of all, why we have to use multiple catch blocks in Java. You see the same Java program, okay? You see what happens in real time is same Java program may result in different exceptions at different or in different situations. Okay? Or in different situations or conditions. Situations or conditions. This is what is a problem statement. The same Java program sometimes may give you one exception, and in other case or another situation or other condition, it may give you another exception. Then, if you are only writing one catch block, only one type of exception can be handled. Whenever the other type of exception occurs at the other point of time in other situation or condition, the Java program will not be able to handle it because at a time only one exception it can handle of one type. But in different situations, if you are if you are getting different type of exceptions, then it's not possible. By using a single catch block, we cannot handle different types of exceptions. So that's where we have to use multiple catch blocks. So how to use a multiple catch blocks? For example, here this is a try block. Okay. How to? The next question here is how to. How to use multiple catch blocks. In order to use multiple catch blocks, we have to write first try, starting and ending, and then here we have to write catch block. And after this, again one more catch block. So this is the syntax, guys. Okay, first try block, then catch block, and another catch block, and so on. You can write any number of catch blocks at the end of every catch block. You can add one more catch block also. Okay, you can add any number of catch blocks after the try blocks. So this is a way of this is a way to use multiple catch blocks in Java programming. So I'm going to take an example, guys. I'm going to demonstrate this practically. So a same Java program which may result in different exceptions in different situations or condition I'm going to cover right now. So for example, this is a Java program that I have written in the previous sessions. You see, at a high level, what is this Java program all about? It will accept or intake integer number as an input and store into the variable b. After that, it will intake another input from the user while running the code and store into the variable b. Now we will be dividing the number a with number b. We are dividing the number a with number b, and that result we are printing. So in the previous sessions, as I already covered, what if I give the numbers like some number 9 and some number 0 into the B. Then here I need to divide the number with 0, which is not possible in Java. And this particular statement, when you are trying to input 0 into the variable B of this program from as a user input from here, what is happening? This particular statement will result in arithmetic exception. This particular statement will result in arithmetic exception. So that's why we have written the code for handling the exception using try catch block where only one catch block is there. Fine. So only this particular code is capable enough in handling which type of exception, and because in the catch block, which type of exception is mentioned? Arithmetic exception. So if you get an arithmetic exception here in this particular Java program, in that case, this thing will work. This thing will work, right? So I'll run this code, right click run as Java application, enter first number, let's say 9. If I give 0 here, if I get arithmetic exception here in this particular line because I'm trying to divide a number by 0, we'll go to the catch block, and in the catch block arithmetic exception will be handled. Okay. Whatever the exception we got, that will be handled, and print stack trace is there. That's okay. Otherwise, you can simply print E here. That's also fine. Only the exception type and description of the reason for the exception will come. And after that, end of the program will come. Right? Press enter. Okay. Let me run it again. Right click run as, and here give the number as 9 and 0. You see? We got an exception, that exception got handled. Arithmetic exception we got, and the reason for the exception is divided by 0. And since the exception got handled, this particular exception details got printed here. And finally, the remaining part of the code also got executed. And here end of this program is a proof for that. All good so far. Now the next thing here is, so In case of arithmetic exception, the program continued and exception got handled here and end of the program also continued, right? What if I run the program again? This time, I'll give 9 here, but for the second number, I'll not give the number, I'll give the text. So if I give here, we are expecting a number, but I'm giving the text. If you are entering the text instead of a number, and it won't be able to store into this variable b, right? So here we are going to get a different exception than arithmetic exception. Press enter. You see, we got a different exception here. The try catch block was not able to handle this exception. The try catch block was not able to handle the exception, and we got this input mismatch exception. Expected input is integer, but whatever we got is string text, because of which we got this input mismatch in 12th line itself. This is not surrounded by try catch blocks. Okay, this particular code is not surrounded with try catch blocks. So what I can actually do is I'll just put all this code here, guys. Okay, I'll just put all this code here. I'll just move this scanner dot close somewhere else also, or else here itself I'll move. I'll just copy all this code, Control C. So I'll put this code here. Okay, I'll remove all this code. I'll remove all this code. Okay, fine, like this. I'll write the code like this. I'm putting all the code inside the try block because there are two possibilities of the exception, right? One, sometimes you are getting, when you store number 0 into the B, we are getting arithmetic exception that this catch block will execute. In some other cases, what we are getting, input mismatch exception we are getting. If you are trying to store some text instead of a number into this variable A or B, we are going to get input mismatch exception. Okay, so let's run it again. Let's see which type of exceptions can be handled with the help of this try catch block this time. After I put all this code inside the try block, 9, 0. You see, arithmetic exception got handled. When I gave 0 here into the B, when you're trying to divide a number by 0, okay? And here in this particular 16th line, we may have got this arithmetic exception and we went to the catch block, diverted to the catch block, and the details of the exception got printed here like this because the exception got handled in the catch block and the remaining lines of the code got executed. But what if I run the code here this time? I'm going to give ABC as a input. ABC as a input. Instead of number, I'm giving the text here. So this particular line should result in, this particular 14th line should result in input mismatch exception. Okay, input mismatch exception. That cannot be handled by the catch block because this catch block is related to handling the arithmetic exception, not the input mismatch exception. Press enter. You see, we got input mismatch exception, and that is not handled by the catch block. What is the proof that this input mismatch exception is not handled by this particular catch block? You see, the remaining lines of the code didn't get executed. End of this program has not printed here. That's the proof. End of this program has not printed. That means the program has stopped in the same line where we got the exception. In this 14th line, we got the exception. As per this, you see, in the 14th line, we got the exception and the program has stopped here because of this exception, because catch block is only intended for handling the arithmetic exception but not the input mismatch exception. To solve this kind of situation where a single Java program may result in different type of exceptions at different point of time, even though I put all this code that may result in different type of exceptions in different situations inside the try block also, the catch block is not able to handle this kind of new exception because catch block is here intended for handling only the arithmetic exception, not the input mismatch exception. So this is a kind of situation where you can add one more catch block. You can here add one more catch block, guys. And in this catch block, you write this input mismatch exception. Okay, you create an object reference declared with input mismatch exception. You can give any variable name here, not only you can give different things like this. So here, hold the mouse on this input mismatch exception and import it from java.util package. Okay, we have to import it from java.util package because this is coming from a different package. So whereas arithmetic exception is coming from java.lang, which is a default package. So you don't have to import this default package. But here this is coming from a different package known as java.util. So you have to import it to overcome this compiler error. Now write system.out.println E. That's it. Okay. Now this time we have how many catch blocks? Apart from the first catch block, which will only handle the arithmetic exception, we have one more catch block which is going to handle the different exception, that is input mismatch exception in Java. Like this, if this particular program, whatever the code that I'm wrapping inside the try block is capable enough in giving different type of exceptions. Apart from this two, I can add few more catch blocks also. Here in this example, I am only adding two catch blocks, but two is not the limit, guys. You can add any number of catch blocks depending on which type of exceptions its code inside the try block may result. Based on that, for different exceptions, this code may give. You can create different catch blocks. You can create different or multiple catch blocks, not only two. You can create three, four, and so on. There is no limit. This time let's run this code and see whether with this multiple catch blocks, whether we are able to handle different type of exceptions, which this particular code inside the try block may result in. So if I'm giving 9 and 0, arithmetic exception will come at this line 17 and this particular catch block should handle it. This particular catch block should handle it and it should print arithmetic exception here. Okay. So here I'll just write one statement, exception 1, just for case, okay? Exception 1 plus E I'll say. And here I'll simply write exception so that you'll understand which catch block is getting running, okay? Exception 2 or else that's also fine, okay? Exception 1, exception 2. Exception 2 means second catch block, exception 1 means first catch block. That's the proof. Now let's run it again. Let's run it again, right click run as. This time if I give 9 and then 0 and press enter, exception 1 at the, you see exception 1 got printed here, okay? Exception 1. That means this particular catch block is running. Because here we are entering 0, 0 is getting stored into B and 9 divided by 0. This particular statement will give arithmetic exception and because of which this catch block got executed and exception 1, arithmetic exception, reason for the exception got printed. End of the program also got printed because we were able to handle the exception which got arise in this code in the try block in the first catch block. Now run this code again and this time I'll give different situation where 9, I'll give ABC or something and press enter. This time also the exception got handled, but exception 2 got handled. This exception 2 got handled. That means this particular catch block, which will be handling the input mismatch exception, is diverted. Okay, like which line? Which line, guys? Here we got the exception in the 15th line. From the 15th line, we went into the second catch block because the second catch block will only handle the input mismatch exception, not the first catch block. You see, input mismatch exception got displayed here, and end of this program. And end of this program. Okay. That means program execution continued. So this is how we can write or create multiple catch blocks to handle multiple exceptions. The same code giving multiple exceptions at different situations or different conditions in the Java program. To handle that, we have to create multiple catch blocks. So hope guys you understood why we have to use multiple catch blocks and how to use them. How to use these multiple catch blocks and with practical demonstration. Hope you understood in this session. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.